base set is catching up.
Yeah.
Because honestly, for the longest, I used to always wonder, like, why was base set not where was that? I mean, obviously, you got Shadowless, you got First Edition, but the fact that boxes existed that were above base set always kind of confused me. I'm like, why is base set like a $5,000 box?
Yeah.
And then you got, like the E series cards, you got even EX series boxes that are more, and that was confused me. So I'm actually happy that unlimited boxes are finally caught up to where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I saw a tweet the other day that was like, I hate that these cards are getting overvalued. I was like, no, they're getting to the point where they're supposed to be. Yeah, this is where they're supposed to be as far as value.
Yeah.
It sucks because, like, some people now are going to be like, well, now I can never get it. But, like, if you look at, like, the history behind it, it makes sense. Like, this is where, number one, it was going, and two, where it should have been from the start.
Yeah. Yeah, hands down. It should have definitely been like that a while back ago. I'm surprised it's just now catching up. I mean, there has been a huge influence here with base set product here with a lot of guys that I'm sure we'll bring up here a little bit later. But yeah, the influence has been real. But I want to see your logic on, do you think it's acceptable for, like, let's say a unlimited base set Charizard at a PSA 10 to be equal value of a base set booster box sealed? Do you think that's going to be like a gold standard now? Because we're seeing it with first edition boxes, right?
I mean, let's be real. Yes, I think it should. The chase card in base set is Charizard.
Yeah.
And if you get a box, you're not going to get it. First of all, it's not a chance you're going to get a Charizard. I watched Logic open a box on camera about 2 weeks ago, and he didn't pull a Charizard in that box. It had a Blastoise, a Venusaur, and then a bunch of, like, Ninetales and stuff. That was a bad box. Yeah. But he made up for it because he opened a second box shortly after that, and he pulled 3 Charizards back-to-back in front of my face. 1, 2, 3, back-to-back. I'm not even kidding. And then he pulled the Blastoise and the Venusaur as well later in the box. So that was crazy.
Yeah.
And by the way, those Charizards all look really good. They had centering that was on point. I think 1 of the 3 had, like, 1 print line, so 2 of them have a good chance to be a PSA 10. The other one is, like, whatever. So, like, the thing that people got to understand is when you open a box and you open a pack and you pull a hollow, it's not a 10 out the pack. Like, it could even be an 8. So, with Charizard being the big chase card, the most iconic card in Pokemon, I think it should be the same price because that's, in the end of the day, that's what you want. Yeah. No one's opening first at base packs right now because they want to pull a Magneton or Chansey. You're risking the 20 grand because you want to pull the Charizard.
Yeah, you're not lying. I mean, that makes perfect sense. Where do you think the gap though should be between a 9 and a 10 Charizard from base set? I mean, do you think that what we're seeing, base set Charizard has dropped down?
Fair. I think what we're seeing right now is fair. So it's funny. A year ago, so this is so weird to say. A year ago, when you would grade a card and you would get back 9s and 8s, you would look at it and be like, ugh, like I want a 10. As a collector, you always want to get the best grade possible. So what people used to always just do is they would just either sell off the lower grades or try to resubmit to see if they can get that 10 if the card was flawless to them. Which sometimes if you do that, it does come back as a 10. But like, no one really cared about 9s a year ago, but now everybody does. And people care about 8s, people care about 7s, and based on what card it is, people even care about lower grades like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
But like the thing is when you look at the gap, 10s are so limited. I think for unlimited Charizard, there's a lot more. It's like 600 or something like that. But for first ed, there's like 120. For Shadowless, there's like 50. Yeah. Like, it should be like super premium as it is because only so many exist. Yeah. I have one of four Typhlosions as a 10. And like knowing when something is like low pop is like the coolest thing for a collector.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, hands down. That's the biggest
thing.
The
ones that are gonna want it is like, it doesn't matter how much money you have. If the 4 people that have the Typhlosion don't sell, you're not gonna get it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get it. You can try to pull for it, but you might get print lines, you might get centering issues. If it like Pop Report to me, I feel like is severely underrated right now because like people don't really realize, especially new ones coming to the hobby, they don't realize like how little of these cards exist in Perfect 10 grades.
Yeah, no, that's a huge deal. I mean, not to bring up a modern set while we're talking about base, but I mean we're seeing that in Evolutions kind of, right? Because that Pop Report for the holographic Charizard at a PSA 10 is ridiculously low. Because that print quality was just absolutely bad. So I mean, Pop Report's a big deal to have.
Let me just flex real fast. I was the second person to get a 10 for Evolution Charizard.
How long did you send it in?
That was like the first week.
Oh wow!
I was the first one. Like I was the second one because I remember there's a lot of people on YouTube who were chasing to get that 10. They were all submitting it, and I remember I think I sent in like 9 or so at the time because again they were only worth like $5. No one really cared for them.
Yeah.
And I got that one that came back as a 10. I remember I was so excited about that. I still have it. I'm never gonna get rid of it.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm glad you brought up Evolutions. Evolutions to me is interesting because the value for evolutions is ridiculous, but it
Yeah.
makes sense. So like apparently, again, I don't know if this sale actually went through, but according to what we saw on PWCC, 2 Charizards sold for like $6,000 at PSA 10.
I
It's
mean,
an evolution 2016 Charizard.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I think what it is people bought, like, people who can't who get to the point where they don't think they can afford, you know, the original Charizard, will move to the next best thing, which is the reprint. But like at that point, it's like, Rob, would you rather pay $6,000 for a PSA 10 evolution Charizard, or would you rather pay $6,000 for a PSA 9 1999 Charizard?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not even a decision. It's not even a decision.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
What is that? What is that breakdown?
No, I mean it's ridiculous. I cannot imagine. Like I said, we were just talking about PSA 9s going for $6,000. Actually, the price has dropped in the reset. I don't know why it's dropped. I haven't really been paying attention to it, but the base set 1999 Unlimited Charizard has dropped to about $4,500, $5,000 since those $6,000 sales, and yeah, I'd rather have something from 1999 100% of the time. I'm just not. It's a no brainer. So the fact that people are paying that much for the
I'm just
Evo.
happy that 9s are a bit more popular, because I think one of the reasons why people look down upon 9s, you know, not really look down, but they desire 9s less, is because, yeah, 9 is cool, but like if you ever want to resell it, it's gonna be a lot harder to get rid of a 9.
Yeah.
Like I remember I used to have so many PSA 9 first edition Lugias that I would just like get rid of. I would either hand them out to viewers, to friends, or when I would just have a couple of bulk ones, I would just send them off in my bulk to like Toronto, for example.
Oh,
and I would get like $150 to $200 for those cards like a
Yeah.
year ago. And now there was a $50,000 sale
Yeah.
this past week.
Yeah. Yo, that's
Either way,
wild.
the thing about 9s is 9s, yeah, it's not perfect 10, but it's still mint.
Yeah.
Like 9s look really, really good. And there's a chance. There's always that chance where you get that 1/9 where it's like it was misgraded. It could be potentially a 10, or you can even resubmit it to BGS to see if you can get that 9.5, or potentially a 10 through them.
Yeah.
Like 9s are not to be like underrated.
Yeah, no, I agree. And on top of that, I mean, like you mentioned earlier, there's plenty of people that will buy 7s, 8s, and 9s, basically more or less on affordability, right? Because a lot of people are not going to be able to afford that 10 anymore. But I mean, there's plenty of 8 collectors that are just happy with the 8 because mainly they're collectors. They're not looking to flip this card in the market, right? They want it in their collection because they appreciate the card and what the card is, and they at least know that at an 8, even a 7, they're getting a really decent card. At a 9, they're getting, like you said, if a mint card. I mean, there's probably one little problem that, you know, didn't make it that 10 because we know 10 as being the perfect gold standard. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
I have to grab
what are we bringing out?
So this shows you how I treat my 9 sometimes. I have a 1996 original Charizard that's been sitting basically in my background. I put this in the back because I didn't care for it. I remember, I think I pulled this, and there was like a little thing on the side which caused it to get a 9.
Mm-hmm.
And I just left it over there. I was like, yeah, whatever. You know, I'm not even gonna bother selling because it's probably gonna make like $50.
Yeah.
Have you seen the PSA 10s for these?
It's wild. It's wild. Yo,
But the things again, even like 9s, like they're still good. Like this is not beat up.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that like 9s and 8s and just lower grades in general have just gone up in popularity, like especially in Neo Genesis.
Yeah.
Neo Genesis you have to, because Neo Genesis most cards are so beat up right out the pack that like 10s are so like inaccessible.
Yeah, at all. Now that you brought that Charizard up, my card store had one a month ago, and I legitimately waffled about getting it. Not because that, you know, I didn't want it. It's like, dang, well, I had to spend this, and that, you know, for the channel and just to kind of, you know, maintain it afloat. I was like, I don't know if I have, you know, I think they were asking like $180 for it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it probably would have gotten an 8 or 9. It was in really good shape, and I'm like, dang, like I don't know if I want to get that right now. Let me wait on it. It's not. It'll be there. It'll be there. It'll be there.
I used to buy them, I think a year ago for like $35 a pop.
Yeah.
Or a year and a half ago. I'm not really sure. Time kind of has been staying still for the past couple of months. So everything feels like it's been a lot, you know, not that long ago. But I used to buy these and just see if I can get a 10, and I never did. I got a couple 9s. I get key phrase couple 9s. I have one left, and I wish I kept them all. I wish I kept all my regular Charizard 9s because also, again, just like with the Lugia, I had so many, and I would just like I said, either give them out or resell them. And it's just crazy to see like how much stuff has changed.
I mean, it's not even changing. It's legitimately blowing the roof off of houses. You know, with the amount that everybody's just been making. I mean, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense right now because it just happened so fast. Like, I personally, I don't know about you, but I personally can't keep up with the market anymore. Like, I'm finding out information because I'm scrolling through a Twitter feed or an Instagram feed, and that's how I'm finding my stuff out just randomly because I can't really keep up with individual cards anymore. Everything is just moving fast. It's like the stock market, really, right? Like, you just really got to sit there, pay attention, and look at a freaking chart in order to find out what's up and down in hours' time. It's crazy. It's crazy. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, be sure to Geodude smash the subscribe button, hit a like on the video, and give me a comment below with your own opinion about base set evolutions and those Charizards that we're seeing spike in price. Until next time, Rob Mob, we're out.